Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Mack Brothers Podcast. Today, we have a special edition commemorating one of the greatest bands ever. John disappeared, so I'm going to keep going. This episode is dedicated. It's a special album review we're doing for Abbey Road by the Beatles. The main reason I think that this came up is because the Beatles just put out their last song, which is rad. Um, we'll also be reviewing that. That song is called Now and Then. Say, look, Now and Then. Also, we have new music out as well. We have a song called Demons and Desires out with a cute little B-side, much like the song Her Majesty on this album called That'll Do. So
Yes.
go check out our song Demons and Desires. It's out everywhere.
A sneeze is about to come. I lost it.
I feel like a sneeze is about to come would be if I was doing a parody gospel album, that would be the name of it. A sneeze is about to come. Do we
Yeah.
want to dig in? Do we want to dig right in?
What do you want to do Now and Then first or Abbey Road first? Let's do Abbey Road first.
Let's finish on Now and Then because it's Abbey Road is much more important than Now and Then.
So Abbey Road's 54 years old. Um, Now I picked this before Now and Then came out for us to do, like put it on the docket or whatever, because I read a tweet wrong and it said that Abbey Road. Well, I thought Abbey Road was released like November 1st, but it hit number one on November 1st, and that was the difference. But this is a very middle of Halloween and Thanksgiving album. So it makes sense.
What Abbey Road?
Yeah, it makes sense for us to do this.
It does kind of feel like it feels more like it feels like an autumn record.
Yeah, let's jump in. There Goes My Baby would fit in very well to this album.
I think it would. I definitely think it would.
All right, Come Together. Right off the bat.
Do you want to start?
Is it the best bass line ever?
Yeah, just start.
Best bass
It might
intro
be.
ever? Best drum rolls ever? Verses are made or question mark. I mean, it's obviously questionable, but oh well. Verses are amazing. Once that first solo comes in, it goes to a whole nother level. The guitar solo. Guitars are perfect, vocals are so great, and cool. Perfect opener. It's a 10 out of 10.
So, Come Together by the Beatles. A song that was predominantly written by John Lennon for a political campaign. I don't remember the politician. For a political campaign, and then the song morphed into what it is today. And it was not a political campaign song anymore. It's just a normal Beatles song. Um, the song is perfection on drums, bass, guitar, vocals, and just an all around masterpiece. Um, there's not much more up.
Hi, Mom. You're on the podcast.
We're back.
Come Together.
I was in the middle of talking about it. It's a great song. Come Together. I also give it a 10 out of 10. Um, there's just so many cool sounds in this fucking song. I do like the original mix, not for volume or clarity, but for the mix itself, the way all the instruments sit. I like the original mix of the song better than the 2019 version.
Yeah. I think that we should say, at least I listened to the 2019 version just because.
I did because it's more fun.
Yeah, it's a it's a little fresher.
Exactly. All right, next up on
All right,
this
so 10 out of 10
ridiculous
come
10 out
together.
of 10
Yeah.
on this ridiculous list of songs, something.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go first.
Yeah.
So the song is "Something" by the Beatles, one of the greatest love songs ever. Song written by George Harrison for his then, I guess, wife or girlfriend Patty Boyd, who was also with Eric Clapton, which Layla was written about. And if you've seen pictures of this woman, I don't know. I don't know what the. I mean, I guess if you saw pictures of George Harrison and Eric Clapton,
Yeah.
you might also go, ooh, like a chill might go up your spine a little bit. Um, this song is perfect. The drums in the song are probably my favorite part about the song.
Yeah.
Um, the
Class.
harmonies after the solo, when they come back in on that verse, is insane. The solo is great. I would say every part about the song's perfect. Production, strings, guitars, the layering and the harmonies. It could be the Beatles' best song. It's an easy 10 out of 10. I would give it a higher number than a 10 if I could. 10
Yeah.
out of 10. Perfect song.
Uh, my my notes. A perfect song. 10 out of 10. Easy. Everyone is playing perfect things. Perfect. Lovely. Thank you. And then in parentheses, I wrote Paul background and bass. Excellent. So it's a 10 out of 10. Something. I mean, if you, I'm expecting all of our listeners and subscribers and followers, they've heard it before, so there's not really too much to say. Perfect song. 10 out of 10.
An an easy 10 too. Not a hard 10. All right, next up we have John Lennon's one of his least favorite Beatles songs, Maxwell's Silver Hammer. John, why don't you
I
help me
wasn't
out
a
here?
fan of this song until I refound it because of the movie. What's
What
that movie?
movie?
What movie did they do? It came out recently about how they wrote like Get Back and all. Oh, is it called Get Back?
Oh, Get Back, yeah. Yeah, Get Back.
So like I always liked it, but it wasn't like a favorite of mine. And then I seen how much work Paul put into this song and how he needed it. It was almost like breathing. He needed the song to get finished.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. And then I re-listened to it with that in mind, and it's incredible. Um, it's such a win for like a weirdo.
It's a
Like
15 out of 10 for effort.
yeah, it's definitely a 10 out of 10 out of effort. But like it reminds me, like it's it's the reason why I love like all those weird Arctic Monkeys songs because they're
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous, and so is this. This is even more ridiculous than that. Excellent. Um, and I love the
It's
part.
really like the first Vampire Weekend song.
Yeah, I love the part. Oh yes, yes it is. I love the part where Paul starts laughing during the verse. He starts
Mm-hmm.
laughing during one of his own verses because he even knew that this was unbelievably ridiculous.
Absolutely
Musically,
insane.
it's beautiful, funny. Lyrics are dark as fuck. Guitar work is bright and awesome. Outro is so great. It's funny that it might be the lowest rated song on the album for me, but still a 9 out of 10.
All right, so Maxwell Silverhammer, um, the fact that they brought a real like anvil in with a metal hammer to just clank it on the song is ridiculous. I think it's great. I think it's tremendous how John Lennon hated this whole process for the song, and he also really did not like I don't even think George liked doing the song either, but I don't know. I do like this song. You said most of the things I like about the song. So I'm gonna keep it a little more brief. This song's an 8 for me. It's a great song because it's weird. Um, and even weird Beatles songs that are rated lower than a 10 are still great. Um, it's basic. It's like their last fun song on an album. You know?
Well, 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 we
Well, maybe
got
not on this album, but it's like their last totally. This song is total nonsense. There's like the song means nothing at all.
yeah, it's
All right,
excellent.
so next up, another Paul McCartney masterpiece.
Yep. Oh, darling.
Oh, darling. So is this me first?
Yeah, it's you.
All right. So Paul McCartney said that he wanted to go into the studio as early as he can to record this song because he wanted his vocals to sound perfectly fresh. Um, he achieved that. This is a great song. It's just a piano love song standard that like the songs that he like the aggressive drumming from Ringo in the song is really 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 great. The song gets a little out of hand. The song is a little nuts and I like that. Um this is one of those songs. This song feels like the most Abbey Road song to me.
Really?
The song just is like I feel like this song is like the heart of the album. Do you know what I mean? Like the song has so much passion, and
Yeah.
this song is the passion highlight of the album for me. Um, so for Oh Darling, I give it a 9 out of 10. Great,
9 for Oh Darling.
great song.
Man, oh man, this is so wonderful. John wanted to sing this song, but thank
Great
God
point.
Paul sang it. Because Paul perfectly sings it. And no one could do it better. Another perfect song, 10 out of 10.
I can respect that. You know what's great about the song? The guitar part. Boom, beep, boop, 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 beep,
Yeah.
boop.
Yep. Yeah.
So awesome.
Everything about it is just a triumph. Yo, I said that word right too. Did you hear me say that
Can't
correctly?
believe you pronounced that word correct. All right, next up. Octopus's Garden. John, give me the scoop.
So maybe now officially their last fun full song. Uh Octopus's Garden. The guitar work is some of the best on the album and maybe George's ever. The guitar work is just fan fucking tastic. Same for the absurd background vocals. They're
Oh yeah,
the
they're crazy.
best. The best bands don't take themselves serious, and this is another perfect song. 10 out of 10.
I love it. Okay, so Octopus's
I love
Garden.
Octopus. I
This song may have like the least amount of like John and George on it, or John and Paul on it for like really any Beatles song, because you see all the videos and demos of Paul and George working, of Ringo and George working it out. Um, I love this fucking song. It's so catchy. It's like the background vocals where they have like that effect over their voice. It's where to make it sound like they're underwater is so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
I agree. It's a perfect song. I love the way it's constructed. I love the instrumentation. I like both mixes. I love the song. I agree with John. 10 out of 10. Octopus's Garden.
that guitar solo. I'm just thinking about that guitar solo while they're dipping underwater. The guitar solo, just
And it's
plays.
also so chipper too. It's just the
Yeah,
happiest. It's just like so great.
yeah. Not all songs have to be like One by U2 or even Imagine by John Lennon to be a 10. Like there's so many different kinds of 10s.
It's like life. There's so many different kinds of emotions. So many
Yeah.
different kind of songs. There's so many different types of women, and they don't know the alphabets.
Perfect.
In the words of ODB, I'm sorry. All right, next up we have
What what
"I
and
Want You."
She's So Heavy. What
She's so heavy.
polar opposite song after Octopus's Garden. You come in with also the way
I totally agree.
the way the album was set up might be the best ever. Like the song placement I can't think of a better even like Octung Baby. Like
hmm
this is just I mean one song after another. You just get such different vibes, but they lead in so perfectly somehow. It's incredible. All right, so I want
Next
you.
up, "I Want You."
You go first. I went first on.
She's so heavy.
Did I go first on Octopus's Garden?
Yes, she did.
All right.
I Want You, She's So Heavy, a John Lennon masterpiece. This song basically invented like jamcore and grunge in rock bands, to me at least. It's a dark, twisting, kind of a dirty song. It's a little bit of the same spirit as Closer by Nine Inch Nails, that we just reviewed, where
Yeah,
it's almost a little creepy. But sometimes Desire is a little creepy, and the song perfectly encapsulates the feeling of desire. There's only like what, 15 words used in the song.
yeah, it's not a lot.
So it's not a lot. The song's all about the jam, the vibe, the flow, and just living in noise. It's got that bossa nova fun parts all in the front, and then it has that thick, ridiculous, long pumping outro where the sound just builds and you have that white noise come in perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. This album was recorded in 1969. What a masterpiece. 10 out of 10 for me. I Want You, She's So Heavy.
All right.
Awesome song.
Man, Lennon lays down a perfect vocal track. And what fun guitar work as well. The bass is, of course, amazing. The guitar tone for that first guitar solo is super thick and superb. The drums are sick. I love John's screams in this. The outro, of course. Song is almost 8 minutes long, and I'm invested the whole time. The way it ends is groundbreaking, just like this album. However, it's not perfect to me only because I do think, I'm a stickler for repetitive long stuff. I do think the outro is just a hair bit too long. Like I
I get
almost
that.
get calls. But it's still a 9.4 out of 10 to me.
That's fair. All right. So next up, we have Here Comes the Sun. Here
It sounds
Comes
like a
the
greatest
Sun.
hits record.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. Here Comes the Sun. John, I think you go first.
In the albums, in the album's context, this is the best 1-2 punch of all time. With I Want You into Here Comes the Sun. Because as soon as that fucking heaviness stops,
It's awesome.
it really is like the sun's rising after a crazy like fucking night. Uh,
You're totally right.
and standalone, without the context of the album, it's a perfect song. George wrote two of the best songs ever, and they're on the same album. The sounds at the end, there's beautiful little sounds at the end that almost go unnoticed unless you're like listening for like the third or fourth time. It's a 10 out of 10.
Here Comes the Sun. It's the greatest song to me about positivity that I don't actually think is really about positivity. Something tells me, and there's probably proof, and I'm probably wrong, but this song feels like it was written literally
Yeah.
to me. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like it was written like I'm gonna write the song as a metaphor for the sun being happiness and joy and for the future and all that. It sounds like he was sitting in a garden and he was meditating and he had a guitar near him and the sun came out of the clouds and he went, "Here comes the sun."
Do.
Or it was the winter and he woke up and he saw the sun coming and he saw the ice melting like out on his front lawn or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's how the song feels like it was written. It
You
feels
know
like the
what, too?
biggest small song ever.
Now I'm like thinking about it. It's also his carefree cadence in the way. I think I had mentioned George Harrison's cadence before. He has the best
Yeah.
cadence out of any of the Beatles, where his vocals are perfectly in tune to the song. Like this song is a breath of fresh air, and like his vocal is a deep breath taking in that fresh breath of air, which is
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
But
Oh, but
10
I
out
know
of
what
10.
you mean.
I
So
mean,
I also obviously agree. The song's a 10 out of 10. It might be the most popular song ever. Everybody, I actually think
yeah,
everyone
popularity.
I know, like I think everyone I know knows this song.
And you know what? It's like one of those it's like one of the examples that like pop music isn't bad. Like
And it
pop,
was an extremely innovative song.
yeah.
The use of keys on this song was far ahead of its time. All right, next up, another innovative song that I'm really happy I get to talk about first is Because. So this is actually a Beethoven song played backwards. John wrote this song after Yoko suggested that he write a song to whatever he was playing at the time, which was I think the Moonlight Sonata backwards. So he wrote the words and lyrics, and then they did a tripled three-piece harmony on it, which sounds majestic. It's just like a digital weird harpsichord and them singing and like other various instrumentation, but I don't think there's any guitar on this song. It's a fucking great song. It's kind of creepy. This is the reason why the Beatles music is, to me, will be taught in lecture halls for as long as people are teaching things about music and contemporary sound throughout history. Um, it is a modern and recorded music language. It is a masterpiece. It
Mm.
is like basically like a classical updated masterpiece. Because I give it a 10 out of 10 just because I feel like it's a landmark song for a pop group to put out and put on their last album.
Yeah. Um, because the last song before the medley, it's almost like a portal to the medley. Um,
It really
everything
is.
everything you said, of course, you nailed. Um, incredible all around, a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
All
Just
right,
because
so
and I will say, like, I feel like that might be a 10 on a different album, but like it's just not on the same level as Here Comes the Sun. Something, um,
but see, here's my theory. My theory is I'm judging all these songs off of if I listen to it and I go, this is a 10. Here Comes the Sun exceeds what I would consider a 10.
yeah,
Like there's certain songs that are just such an easy 10 that I'm like, it's an easy 10. Because to me is a hard 10. So it's like
yeah.
almost like a grading within it because I can't go higher than 10.
Mhm.
So once I'm like, this song's perfect and I want to re-listen to it again, and it's like critically great to me, like it checks like my five main things. It's a 10.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
as well to me.
now
How
we
did
have
this?
all right, so I judged the medley as a whole because that's how it's supposed to be listened.
So did
But
I.
we can do individual ratings for each song if you want.
Well, let's go down the list of the songs, and then we'll give like a very quick thing about all of them, and
Okay.
then
All right, I'm
and
ready. I know
we'll
I got you
explore it.
never give me your money.
Yes.
Okay. Abbey Road medley. Start off. So this is a collection of songs that they had swirling around that were not finished, and they turned them into one giant piece of music to end this album. So this is all these songs are supposed to be listened to in sequential order, and that's how they're supposed to be listened to. So the medley starts off with "You Never Give Me Your Money." John, what do you think about that?
Uh, is it the best piano plus vocal melody ever?
Out of college, money is spent.
Well, the intro, I mean, the blimp, 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 blimp,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
which back
I actually think it was
comes back
taken.
around.
This song was taken from a classical lullaby.
Well, it's so beautiful. What a way to start. It starts out like the most gorgeous sound ever, and then it comes into this nice little fun, beautiful part. Um, that's
Written
funky,
by Lennon and McCartney.
written by Lennon McCartney. Guitar work right up the Red Hot Chili Peppers alley. like and then the creepy chants.
One,
Just
two, three, four, five, six,
6,
seven.
7,
All good
all good
children go
children.
to heaven. Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah, like John Frusciante, half of his discography is like must have been listening to that song and this medley.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that we're not going to give ratings on everything, so you go for that.
All right. You Never Give Me Your Money. Cool song. Paul Paste. He kind of based this song, and we'll get into Golden Slumbers after on an old piece of music. Um, I think the song is just about Paul's life. The intro of the song, I can tell you for sure, is about him, people wanting to just hang out with him because he's famous, and him being annoyed by it.
And gang.
Yeah. So I thought the songs are so cool. It's just I like it more and more as I get older, and I really appreciate the musicality in the center section part of it. Um, this song is like 5 songs in one. It has so many different facets to it.
Yeah.
And then it leads into a literally direct Fleetwood Mac ripoff, Sun King, which I'll do a transition right into because that's how this kind of flows. It starts off with like crickets and like nice little relaxing guitar, and I really like this song. The harmonies are like butter. They're so smooth. They're so nice. I really think they're great, and I really think it's a great song. It's just a Fleetwood Mac ripoff through and through from 1968 Fleetwood Mac.
So I said inspired by Fleetwood Mac, but made 10 times better. Uh, Gorgeous, so interesting and entrancing. 10. Well, it would be a 10 out of 10, but it's we're not doing individual ratings. So yeah, now we're into Mean Mr. Mustard, which it also, I mean, everything ties in perfectly too. Um, this constantly gets stuck on my head. This might get stuck in my head more than anything else on this album.
You know what gets stuck in my head about the song?
The
The weird. No, it's the bass. Ba-bum-bum, ba-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum, bum-bum, bum-bum, ba-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. The bass line gets stuck in my head like constantly.
yeah, it's, I mean, it's very, very, very.
It's just kind of sleazy. It's like a 1990s Ren and Stimpy commercial.
Yeah, drums at the hit, they did a half beat thing.
Mm.
Such a mean old man. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, me, Mr. Mustard. I agree with John. Cool little John Lennon situation that happens. I really like the synthy sound and bass tuba situation I got going on.
Mhm.
Cool thing that leads right into Polythene Pam, which is just piss and vinegar from
Yeah,
John Lennon. Another really, really cool track. Don't think it means anything. I think it's just cool.
yeah. So much fun. Perfect transition. That's really all it is. It's it's a transition song in all honesty, but it kicks ass.
Yeah, these are all songs that would have never gotten released on their own. Because, like, if we're judging Polythene Pam, it's like a 7. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? If you're looking at she came in through the bathroom window, what's that? Maybe a 7.5. It's like a fun song,
well, I wrote some notes on that.
but like the guitar and it's great. The guitar in the song, that's literally with the effect on that guitar. It's literally the whole entire Suck It See album.
Yep. Yeah.
Like it's insane. Like some of this music was so ahead of its time. Like she came in through the bathroom window is an Arctic Monkeys song before they even were born,
Yeah.
before their parents even could probably walk. I don't even know if they were born yet.
I just real quick I said what a groove with the drums and the bass, guitars nuts, chorus is incredible when it goes to that minor chord, just great. The next one,
This is the main event.
let's take a deep breath.
This is just what's coming up here is just like all time
So it's
Golden
quiet for
Slumbers.
a second and then Golden Slumbers comes in.
So
Uh,
Golden Slumbers is a reprise from You Never Give Me Your Money.
yeah. But it's maybe the only example of a reprise being better than the um intro or
Big
whatever
time.
first part. From this point on, it is some of the best music I've ever heard. I mean, it gives so many different emotions. You don't even know how to quantify in ways after this. And then the perfect, I mean, they're basically the same song, but the way it goes into, oh, I'm sorry. Let's talk about Golden Slumbers for a second. It's just some of Paul's best
Yeah.
vocal.
So Golden Slumbers was I think directly word for word. Golden Slumbers is a old British poem that Paul McCartney turned into a song. I don't know if there was any significance behind putting it towards the end, but I'm sure it felt like, well, the Beatles' musical career is kind of going to bed now. So I kind of always felt like the reason they structured it this way before Carry That Weight was for that reason. And with the reprise, I thought it was very intentional, and like I would love to have heard the conversations around all of it because it is just it's an epic. It is a
Yeah,
human
even,
achievement,
and then it goes so perfectly into Carry That Weight, which
which is
is
all about
huge Ringo.
being a Beatle.
Yeah, yep. The trumpets rip the soul out, then the guitar solo puts it back. Then
Oh, the guitar
Paul's
solo feels
melody.
like driving in the rain. It's so good.
Yeah. So then hold on, let me just get through this sentence real quick. Trumpets rip my soul out, then guitar solo puts it back in, then Paul's melody stitches me back up, and then Ringo helps me off the floor.
Yeah, couldn't say it any better than that.
Yeah. And that gets us ready for the end.
The end.
Um Best end credits of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Best drum solo ever. Uh the tri guitar solos, or triple guitar solos, are just out of this world. Um Chill inducing. How many more things?
Yeah, I mean, so I like it's great. Every Beatle has a solo. You can hear why they were all so unique because all of their solos sound distinctly like their solo guitar, like their guitar styles.
Yeah.
Um, Putting it at the end, calling it the end, was great.
And
And the
then
lyric at the end,
yeah,
the
the lyric at
end
the end,
in the end, even the
it's just
flutters. Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah,
So
beautiful.
that leads us to a little surprise track.
But wait a minute. So I don't think Her Majesty's a part of the
No, it
medley.
is.
You sure?
It's officially a part of the medley.
Oh, so
It's
I
a it's the hidden track.
okay.
It's a
So
secret.
of course it's the best song under 30 seconds ever.
Originally, it was at the end of the end. It was snuck in,
Okay.
and it wasn't even a track. And you just had to keep listening to the past the nothingness.
Beautiful.
Cute
Uh
little guitar thing that Paul McCartney did. Go listen to Her Majesty. So the medley as a whole, you got to obviously give it a 10. It's great. It's the musical medley to end the greatest, most prolific musical group that has ever formed
yeah.
and that ever will form. And I've thought about it. There will never be another Beatles again. And I thought about it because if you think about monoculture in the 60s, one culture, like everyone watching the same TV channel, this is never going to happen again. And it only happened in that one brief period of humans where everyone had the same radio stations and the same TV stations, and they could all see the Beatles come back. They could all see the Beatles come over. So I give the medley a 10, and I obviously give the album an easy 10. It's a perfect album. They did
So
it right.
obviously the medley's a 10. I if you know the way I do my album reviews is
This will be your greatest score.
I average it all out. When I did the math, it's a 9.9 something out of 10.
Mhm.
So I'm going to break my tradition and round up because it's so close that this is an official 10 out of 10. It's it Octung Baby's my favorite album ever, but this is probably, I don't think it's probably, this is the best album ever.
I mean, you just like you said, you scroll through it, it looks like a greatest hits.
Yeah,
It's better
it's the
than some
greatest
bands'
hits.
greatest hits.
It's the greatest hits for the greatest band ever, and it's not their greatest hits album.
Yeah, it's insane.
Uh,
So we have a quick review. We have a little bit of time left. The Beatles put out their last song, Now and Then. Real quick, it was a leftover song made from a John Lennon demo that he did in New York. They started working on it when they worked on Real Love and Free as a Bird in '94. They never finished it. They used new technology to put it out. They put it out. I think the song is pretty good. It's not as good as any of the songs on Abbey Road, but it's pretty good. I give Now and Then a 7.8 out of 10. Having only listened
yeah,
to it twice.
I've listened to it 4 or 5 times. I really like it. It's on the liked songs. John Lennon's a perfect melody writer. It's just, he just has such a knack for it. The production just sounds too. It's just weird, and I wish that it stayed as a demo. But I'm happy that it didn't, because it is a lot of fun. I give it a 7.9 out of 10.
Cool. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned next week for more. Like
And subscribe.
Drink League Island Brewing Club. It's the Beatles' favorite beer. It's John Lennon's favorite beer. It's George Harrison's favorite beer.
Paul's
Favorite